We're with Eilish McColgan today. I'm just looking at a couple of issues within athletics. One of them, you were mentioning, I think recently, you were really impressed with the activity and the running of the kids in Kenya when you were out there. Not something we see all the time in Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a different culture to what we have back home. These little kids are just surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of athletes training in a 10, and for them, I suppose athletics is normal in a way. They see loads of people. I mean, you can go down to the track on a Tuesday morning and there'd be 60 Kenyan athletes running around the track. And I mean, if you went up to the track in Dundee, you would obviously never have that many elite athletes anyway training at one time. And so I think kids are almost surrounded by it. It's like the way I was brought up. I was brought up around my mum and dad always running, and to me that was like a normal lifestyle to have. It's obviously different now with people back home. It's not a way of life, whereas out there it is.
But we've got to get more elite athletes. I think we've got to broaden the base, get more participation in the clubs. We've seen that with a lot of clubs in Scotland, the numbers rising after the Olympics with the interest, seeing the likes of yourself on the television. How do the clubs be ready for that?
Yeah, I mean, it happened in my own club, Dundee Harriers. I mean, after the Olympics, we had a massive boom of children come along. And we did struggle for a little while as we didn't have the coaches in place. They took a lot of the parents to try and get in. But I mean, going on just experience in my own club, I mean, they've done so well. Nigel's sort of gone in and he's managed to train up some of the parents, and so that they have enough sort of parents looking after the kids now, and keep enjoyment in the sport as well. They change things up. They're not always on the track. They're always out doing different things and playing games, and I think it's about trying to mix it up and include the children, and just make it fun for them, really.
And of course we do get a bit of a drop-off though in the teens, particularly I think with some girls as well. Is there anything that athletics can do to keep it attractive for people of that age, 15, 16?
I'm not sure. I think maybe broadening the publicity of the sport. I mean, if you look in the papers, there's 10 pages of football, and so to kids football is a cool sport to play, and it's the one that's in the media all the time. Whereas if you went into a school and said to someone, name me a British athlete, you would get Mo Farah, you would get Jess Ennis, but in some schools you wouldn't even get that. I mean, if you said to them, name me a Scottish athlete, someone who actually does athletics, I think you'd really struggle to find that. And I think kids just aren't aware of the sport, that there's so many athletes out there doing it, and I think that's maybe the problem that we have. They're just not aware that it is there, and there are these local tracks that you can go along to, and there's 30 kids on a Tuesday night that all meet at Dundee, and there's 30 kids on a Tuesday night that meet in Glasgow. So there's all these different places, and I think we need to maybe make it more aware in the schools that these kids can go and they can try things out.
Your family are doing your best, because I think the name Liz McColgan would certainly come up. Your name's coming up, but I think you've got a couple of a brother and a sister that might be involved in it as well.
Yeah, I mean, the two older ones are definitely no interest there at all, but my little sister's only 9 and my other brother's 11, and they've started an athletics club and they do enjoy it, but who knows. I mean, it's one of those things that they enjoy it at this age. Whether they enjoy it in a couple of years' time, at least they've been given the opportunity now to sort of get involved in the sport. And I mean, that's how I started, and I made pretty much all my friends that I met when I was 13 I still speak to today, and I think that's the main thing about the sport as well. At that age, it's more of a social thing when you're that young, and I think that's what keeps people involved in the sport. It definitely kept me involved in the sport, even in the years I perhaps wasn't competing at a high level. I enjoyed going along to training because I got to see all my friends, and it was a way of sort of socialising out with school, and that's something that definitely helps people stay in the sport.
Of course, at the elite end, you're now a full-time athlete. Bit of a change for you. You've had university in the past, and you're getting support here from Lindsay's solicitors in Edinburgh to help you probably all the way through to Rio. And it's really important that our best athletes do get some sort of backing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's made a massive difference. It's allowed me, obviously, to stop working, to, as you say, be a full-time athlete. And I think that's one of the things I noticed being out in Kenya and being around other British athletes in UK athletics, is how professional and how elite they are. Athletics is a job, and for me it was a hobby, and fortunately enough now I can make athletics my job.